going to talk about, we are not going to do the test, okay, or sample test, but I'm going to give you sample of questions in detail, very detailed. Don't sleep, okay? Okay, so now let's start. So we talk about 3 tests, okay? I hope you are familiar with them, TOEFL, TOEIC, and IELTS. Those 3 tests come from, right? Okay, so TOEFL and TOEIC, they are both from ETS, Educational Testing Service. Okay, they were from USA, while IELTS, okay, so British Council, IDP Education, and also Cambridge Assessment English, okay, they work together to release IELTS. Okay, if you see the year here, TOEFL is the oldest. It's like the grandma from IELTS. Yeah? That's why probably now IELTS is more popular because it is newer. Start from 1989, while TOEFL start from 1964. It's the oldest. And TOEIC, it was established in 1979. Okay? So what are the difference between those 3? Anybody knows? Okay. What I don't like from being a Zoom webinar is nobody answer my questions. Okay. So here you can see that TOEFL is the abbreviation for Test of English as a Foreign Language, while TOEIC is Test of English for International Communication. Communication, you can see from the word communication. Then IELTS is International English Language Testing System. Okay. So you can see that from those definitions. So TOEFL is a standardized test to measure the English language ability of non-native speakers who wish to enroll in English-speaking universities. So TOEFL is meant for those who want to study. Okay. What about TOEIC? TOEIC is designed to measure the everyday English skills of people working in international environments. So mostly it is for those who want to work abroad or you just want to move to another country. While IELTS, okay, they have both, like TOEFL and TOEIC. Okay, so it is test for higher education and also government profession the same. Okay, so IELTS also have TOEFL version and TOEIC version. While ETS have TOEFL and TOEIC. For TOEFL, they have 3 parts, 3 kinds of tests. The PBT, the paper-based, okay, which is no longer produced, okay, since 2004, it is not officially produced anymore. And then CBT no longer exists, and IBT since 2004 until now. Okay. So probably most of you here told me that you have taken the PBT version. Actually, it is, you call it as ITP, Institutional Testing Program. So it's like the recycle of those PBT tests. Okay. So it is only held in each institution or school or university. And then for IBT, because in year 2000, they probably consider that they need to have a critical thinking. The students need to be critical thinking and then to think critically, and then there are many kind of questions that should be improved, so they release IDP. It's given. And then for TOEIC, since 2006, they released the new TOEIC version. What about IELTS? They have 2, general training and academic training. So academic training is the same with TOEFL, and general training is the same with TOEIC. So IELTS have also those 2 versions. For US students, which one will you choose? If you want to study, again, you take academic training. If you want to work, probably you need to take general training. Okay. Now let's talk about TOEFL in detail. The test part. The PBT first. Okay. Since most of you, okay, if my voice is not clear enough, you can tell me in the chat, okay? Or just raise your hand or just interrupt. Okay. For PBT, paper-based, There are three kinds of tests there: listening comprehension, structure and written expression, and also reading comprehensions. There are only three. Okay, for listening comprehension, there are 50 items, 50 questions. Same with reading, and then 40 for structure. Okay. 30 minutes or 35 minutes for listening, and 25 minutes for structure, and 55 minutes for reading. We are probably around like 110 minutes from all of them. If we have taken like more than once, you are familiar with PPT version or the ITP version. And the listening, they have three types of questions: short conversations for 30 items. So one short conversation with one questions, and longer conversation, 8 questions. So there will be probably like 2 longer conversation with 4 questions for each longer conversation, or short talk and mini talk. So there will be someone who make a speech, and there will be three probably, and there will be like 4 for each, or 3 questions for 4 short talk. And then for the structure, they test your grammar or your proofreading skill. So there will be sentence completion, 15 items, okay, multiple choice, and 1 until 15 numbers. Until 16 until 40, you will have error analysis. Okay. Which part is more difficult? All of them can be difficult. Number 1 until number 10 is easier. Number 11 until number 15 probably are more difficult. 16 until 25 is easier. 26 until or 30 until 40 probably is more difficult. Something like that. What about reading comprehensions? There are 5 reading texts, 50 items. One text probably have like 10 questions, and they are similar. The questions are always similar. Okay. And then now let's go to IBT. You are already familiar with PPT, right? Most of you have taken them. Now let's go to the IBT. Okay. So yes, this is more expensive. It takes more time. It's about 3 to 4 hours and only have 10 minutes break. So if you plan to take the IBT test, you have to make sure that you are healthy, already eaten before, so that you can do it all. So you have reading, listening, speaking, and writing. Here are the time limits. So reading, you have 60 until 80 minutes. There are 3 until 4 passages, 12 until 14 questions. Okay, and then for listening, 60 until 90 minutes. Okay, you have 4 until 6 lectures, 6 questions each, 2 until 3 conversation, 5 questions each, and then you have 10-minute breaks. 10-minute breaks for 4 hours, and then you have speaking and also writing. Okay, it's integrated. So that you are going to read and listen, and then you have to answer, respond. Okay, and also writing, 1 integrated task and 1 independent essay. Each skill has maximum score 30. The total will be 120. One of my students in TP3 in Lia, he got like 110. It was very cool. It's great. So I wish one of you, or many of you, or some of you, if you join IBT, you are going to be surprised. Like, oh my God, I got more than 100. So Harvard probably, the minimum score for Harvard is like 80. Others like 70 or 75. So you can try. Okay. And for the TOEIC version, there are 2, listening comprehension and reading comprehension. Each of them has 100 items. So the question in TOEIC is quite different. The listening in TOEFL, in PPT, you are going to you have the option first, and then you will listen to the question. But here you have the photographs, 10 questions of photographs. Okay, the question is 30 questions, conversation, 30 questions, and short talk, 30 questions. Okay. And then for reading comprehensions, we have 100 items. Incomplete sentences, 40 questions. Text completion, 12 questions. And single passages, 28 questions. And double passages, 20 questions. Okay. What about the speaking and writing, Miss? Okay. TOEIC also provides speaking and writing, though they are not really popular. It is like separated. So if you want to take speaking and writing, you have to ask again, and they have to pay, and it is you are going to take it online. Okay. For IELTS, similarly to IBT, but quite different also. They have listening, reading, writing, and speaking. For listening, there are 4 sections, 40 questions for 30 minutes. For general training, but for academic training, 4 sections, 40 questions. They are the same. So IELTS for academic and general training, speaking and listening, they are the same. For reading, they have 3 sections with 40 questions. So for general training, the text will probably like ads, guidebooks, magazine, notices, and others. While for academic training, the text probably like journal, textbooks, relevant magazine, and newspaper. So what makes it different is in the text. While for writing, okay, they use the sample topic from the reading. Okay, in general training, there are 2 tasks. Also in academic training, there are 2 tasks. Okay, the same part, the topic is different. For speaking, they have a face-to-face interview, 11 until 14 minutes. Okay, is my voice clear?
Yes, ma'am. Clear, very clear.
Yeah, thank you. Now we go to the ITP. This one is the sample questions. Okay, we have talked about the test part. Okay, you know about what they are. Okay, you know about the test part. Now let's go in detail. The question, each of the questions for each of the test part. For listening, structure, and reading comprehension. Remember, there are 3 types of listening: type A, B, and C. Now let's see the sample question of part A, short dialogue. So it's going to be like this. What you have in your book, in your booklet, is only the options. So you only have, where is my annotate? I cannot have an annotate. I'm not allowed to write down anything. Okay. So in your task booklet, you only have A, B, C, D, and then you are going to listen to the short conversation and then the questions. Okay, and this is in the short conversation. Sorry, part A. There will be 30 questions like this. You are familiar with this. Okay, and then for longer conversation, there will be 1 long conversation, and that will be around 3 to 4 questions. Okay, something like this. Again, you have the options only in your booklet. You don't have the questions. So you will listen to a conversation and the questions. Okay? And then for short talk, it's like reading, listening to someone reading. Okay, so there will be a short talk. It can be from a lecturer who give a lecture, or it can be from a tour guide. Here, so you are going to read options again in your booklet, and you are going to listen to a short talk with the questions only. Okay, those are for the listening. Now, for structure, there are 2 parts of structure, right? The completion is going to be like this: 1 until 15 numbers, okay, and then error analysis 16 until 40. So you are going to find which one is the mistake. While in the 1 until 15, you are going to find to complete the sentence with the correct answer. I think you are familiar with this. And for reading a text, it can be 1 paragraph long, but it also can be 1 essay with several paragraphs. There will be like 10 questions. What about the IBT? Because most of you haven't taken IBT. Okay, you need to remember there are many questions. Okay. Reading, listening, speaking, and writing. Okay, don't sleep. It's going to be hard to listen and pay attention. For reading, So there are several types, many types of questions. Okay, so here, this is the first type, factual information question. It's probably similar to the PPT. Okay, according to paragraph 2, content, blah, 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 blah. So, like stated detailed questions in PPT, you have it also. And type 2, negative factual information questions. You have also seen, you have it similar with PPT, like not true or accept. Okay, you have it also here in IBT. Okay, inference questions, which from the following can be inferred from paragraph 1 and blah, 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 blah. So it's also similar. Okay. Why does the author discuss this? Okay, rhetorical purpose questions, you probably find it in PPT, but not often. Okay, also this one, the vocabulary questions, closest in meaning. There will be a lot of questions like that in reading in PPT. And also reference question, probably like 3 to 4 questions, the same with closest in meaning. The word they in the passage refer to. Okay. So if you haven't taken IBT, but you are already familiar with PPT, you know that at least 6 types of questions in IBT are going to be similar. Okay. Sorry. Okay. But there is also something like this, sentence simplifications questions and insert text questions. You don't have that in PPT. These are what makes it different. Which of the following best expresses the essential information in the highlighted sentence? Incorrect answer choices change the meaning in important ways or leave out essential information. You need to analyze them. And then you have to insert text questions also here. Look at the 4 squares that indicate where the following sentence could be added to the passage. Okay, so those kind of questions. And also, you don't have it in PPT. Close summary questions. Okay, so you have to choose from the answer choices and put it. Choose which one is the correct one. Okay. And the type, fill in a table questions. So you have to complete the table below to summarize information about 2 types of art, something like this. So you have the statements. So you have to choose. Those are for reading in IBT. What about listening? Are they also similar? This one, you probably find this also in PPT. This content question type 1. What is the main topic of the talk? Yes, you also have it in PPT. Type 2. Proposed question. Why does the student visit the professor? You are probably familiar with this also in PPT. Detailed questions also in short talk. Yes. Understanding the function of what is said question. What is the woman trying to find out from the man? Probably yes, you find it also. Understanding the speaker's attitude questions. What is the student's attitude toward the people he currently worked with? Probably with different kind of questions, but similar. You have to make inferences about someone's attitude. Okay, and then type 6, understanding organization questions. Why does the professor talk about skill to identify, to explain, to compare, to illustrate? So it's similar to reading questions, but this one is for listening. And then type 7, connecting content questions. I don't think we have that in PPT. What does the professor imply about the orbit of? Yeah, imply, yes. Okay. And then making inferences questions. You have it also. What does the professor imply about the philosophy of the Dada movement? You have it also. Okay. So, even though it is expensive, but if you need to go abroad and you have to take RBT, and you are only familiar with PPT, don't worry. Some of them are familiar, but speaking and writing are 2 most that you need to prepare. So the first type, independent questions. You will be asked about a person, place, object, or even event that is familiar to you. You will be given 45 seconds for your response. Okay, the topic will vary. So your preparation time is 15 seconds and the response time is 45 seconds. So you have to respond within 45 seconds. Reasons, explanation, why. Okay, and then the second question, There will be two possible actions or situations or opinion, and you have to choose. And you have to share why, okay, your opinion. There is no right or wrong as long as you can support your idea why you choose this and why you choose that. So you are going to be scored based on how strong you are going to support your ideas, okay, mostly because of that. Okay, and you only have 15 seconds to prepare and 45 seconds to respond. And then the integrated listening, reading, and speaking. So here you are going to read first a short passage, and then after that you will listen to people discussing about the topic, the passage, and then you have to answer a questions based on what you read and heard. So responding to what you read and responding to what you listen from a questions. The preparation time is 30 seconds, and you have to answer in 60 seconds. And then for question 4, similar, you will read a short passage about an academic subject and also listen to a professor, okay, and then answering question based on what you read and what you heard. So there is an integrated listening, reading, and speaking, not only just speaking. Okay, and then for question 5, only from listening, there is no reading passage. You will only listen to a short conversation, campus-related situation. Okay. So because IBT was meant for people who want to study abroad. So that's why there will be a lot of topic about campus-related. Okay. So the preparation time is 20 seconds and response time is 60 seconds. After you listen, you have to explain, okay, your opinion about the solution of the problem. Previously you choose between two options, you have to give reasons. Now you have to give the solution of a problem. And the question 6, you will listen to a professor present except from a lecture, and then you are going to be asked questions about what you have heard. They are going to test. So this is a test for you whether you can later when you study in the class, whether you can respond after you listen to your professor. So that's why they are going to have this. Or later you can talk or communicate with your friends in your campus. What about writing? So there is also integrated writing task. Okay. Here you will read the passage, okay, for 3 minutes about an academic topic, and then you will hear a lecture related to the topic. And then you will have to summarize. What makes it different between PBT and IBT? In PBT, you are not allowed to take notes, while in IBT, you are suggested, and they even give you paper. There will be some lessons and preparation lesson for you to take notes, because it is very important. And in the class, it is logical for you to take notes, right? That's why you have to be able to take notes very fast and effectively so that you can summarize. There will be a questions, a task about summarizing something. So you are going to summarize the points in the listening passage, and you have to explain those points. Okay. And then for independent writing task, you are presented with a question, and you have 30 minutes to write an essay. So there will be a questions, and then you write an essay to respond to that questions. Mostly it's argumentative. You have to write your opinion with strong argument. Do you agree or disagree, and why? There is no right or wrong whether you agree or disagree, as long as you support your ideas strongly. Okay. And then for TOEIC, there are 2, listening and reading. Okay. 100 for each. This is the sample of the questions for reading. As I told you before, there will be pictures. Okay. But unlike in PBT, because most of you are familiar with PBT only, that's why I keep relating to the PBT. In PBT, you only read the options on your booklet, while in TOEIC booklet, you will see like this on your right side. So pictures and A, B, C, D option without the questions, because it is going to be asked and read in the listening. And you can see from the options, the teacher is holding up her hand. The children are sitting in group. The children are participating in the lesson. It's quite easier probably because it's communicative, not academic. Okay, and then part 2, questions and responses. Here, okay, so you will listen to questions and 3 responses, and then you will choose which one is the best response. Different, right? And then part 3, conversation, you will listen to 10 short conversation, each with 3 questions, and then for each question you will choose the answer which you think fits best according to what you hear. Yes, ETS mostly have multiple choices. Yeah, you have it here. Where is the woman calling? Similar to PPT. Short talk also similar to PPT. You are going to listen to 10 short talks, each with 3 questions. For each question, then you will choose the answer, the best answer. Okay. But the content of the talk and the conversation is different from what you have in PPT. So TOEIC is meant for someone who wants to apply to a job. For you to study again, so it's better for you to take TOEFL. And reading in TOEIC, this is like this. Incomplete sentences. Okay. So you have this. Similar like a bit grammar, right? A bit structure, error recognition. So they don't separate structure or grammar, but they combine it in reading. This one is for comprehension, similar to what you have in reading in PPT. But the text, pay attention on the text. Are you setting up a small business? Worry about the cost of renting office, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you see, this one is not a common text you have, like it's not from an essay or article or a journal, like what you have in PPT. This one is more into business. Okay, the question also different. Okay, this one is email, double passage. So you will read the 2 emails and answer the questions. Emails. Okay. What about the speaking? Remember, speaking and writing are taken separately only for those who want to take them. So, and they are not really popular because they are expensive. For listening and reading only, it costs 700 rupiah. But if you want to take speaking and writing, you have to add 1.3 million. So both of them is going to be how much? 2 million. Wow, quite expensive. Okay, so for the speaking test, 20 minutes. The test is taken online, okay, and your voice is recorded and sent to be marked. Okay? And you have to read aloud because they are going to see your pronunciation, and then you describe a picture for vocabulary and grammar, and then for fluency, you have to respond to a questions, and then you have to propose a solution, express an opinion also. What about for writing? Okay, still online and sent to be marked. The score arrive in 3 to 4 weeks, and you will write an email, okay, responding to previous email and also an essay. Okay, so done with the ETS, TOEFL, and TOEIC. Now we go to the last part, which is Ielts, general and academic training. There are 2 parts, general and academic training. If you want to study abroad, take academic training. What do you have here? Do you still remember? Listening, reading, writing, speaking. Okay, general training, academic training, the same. Okay, now let's talk about the listening part. Okay, since they are different, the same, sorry. Type 1, multiple choice. See the difference in multiple choice. While in TOEFL, the multiple choice are similar. One question, A, B, C, D. You have to choose one letter, whether it is A or B. But here in IELTS, they have various type of questions. Multiple choice is different here. Choose two letters. So you can choose two, A until E. Which two age groups are taking increasing numbers of holidays with busy travels? Okay, so not only just one. And then choose the correct letter A, B, or C. Okay, similar to TOEFL, ETS, but only A, B, C. We also have matching here. They also have matching. A, B, C, D, E, and 1, 2, 3, 4. There will be one option left. Okay. Matching, multiple choices. And you have also plan, map, diagram. Let me choose 5 answers from the box. So there will be a lot of pictures. Okay. You are going to write the correct letters A until I next to the questions 11 until 15. So one number is one letter. If you make a mistake, if you do not match them correctly, then you are going to have more than one mistake. That's the biggest problem. And then here, form, note, table, flowchart, summary, completion. So now you have to pay attention when you are going to take Ielts. You have to really read the instruction. When they write no more than 3 words on or a number for each answer, so you have to really do it, not more than 3 words. So it's not, you have to write and make sure your spelling is good. Okay. And then sentence completion. So you are going to complete the sentence. Write no more than 2 words. So 2 words exactly. Yeah, studying with the Open University demanded a great deal of blah, blah, blah. And then short answer questions. The way how to answer is like this. Write no more than 3 words or a number of each sentence. What 2 factors can make social contact in a foreign country difficult? So you have to answer on one number, maximum 3 words. Use 3 words. Okay. So you are not going to write to answer in 2 sentences or 1 sentence. No, 3 words, 2 words, 3 words, 2 words. That's how you write, how you answer. And what about reading? You have listening, and there are many types. Okay, it's not like they are going to you are going to see all of them, but it's going to be random, like 3 types or 4 types for each. Now for each series, now we have 11 types. Okay, those are the popular one: multiple choice, identifying information, identifying writer's view or claims, matching information, matching headings, matching features, matching sentence ending, sentence completion, similar to what you have in listening, short answer questions. This one, section 1 until 3. So there will be 3 sections. The first one, okay, contains 2 pieces of writing. Section 2 also contains 2 pieces of writing, while section 3, it contains of 1 piece of writing. Here, choose no more than 3 words from the text for each answer. Again. Okay. What about section 2? Choose the correct heading. So you choose the correct heading. It's like matching, right? So number 15, section A, which part is the correct heading? The problem is if you make a mistake, like you don't match, if you make a mistake in number 15, so there is a possibility that you make a mistake in other number. Okay, and then section 3, you are going to have this. The text has 8 paragraphs, A until H, and then which paragraph contains the following information. Okay. And then you have to complete the summary. There will be a summary already, but you have to complete them. Okay, you have multiple choice, but different. Which 2 advantages are mentioned by the writer of the text? We choose 2. Identifying information. You have also true or false here. Okay, and then matching heading. Choose the correct heading for each section, and then matching features. Okay, look at the following items, and then match each item with the group which first invented or used them. I don't think you will remember all of them. Summary, note, table, flow, chart, completion. There will be also something like this. And again, Always read the instruction. Choose no more than 2 words. 2 words, 3 words, 2 words, 3 words. Okay. No more than 3 words. Level completion. So if you ask me which one is easier, which one is more difficult, you can see it from the sample of questions. Which one do you think is more difficult? So both actually has different style. What makes it different? And it depends on you. If you are more into analytical, probably TOEFL is better. But if your comprehensive skill is better, probably IELTS will give you better score. What about writing? There will be 2 types of writing to complete. Okay, in the first type, general training, this one. Test taker are asked to respond to situation, and then task 2, test taker write an essay. Okay, so here you are going to write a letter requesting information or explaining a situation. Okay. For example, task 1, write a personal response in the form of an informal or semi-formal or formal letter. So letter, at least 150 words. Okay. No more than 20 minutes. The letter. Okay, for this one, essay, at least 250 words. The topics are general interest. Whether children's leisure activities should be educational, families are not so close as they used to be. Because not only for working, it is also for people who want to move to another country. Okay. What about for academic training? So you have 2 also. The first one, you have to write a description of visual information, graph, table, chart, diagram. Oh, I hate this. Okay. And the second one is writing an argumentative or point of view essay. First one, for example, like this. Describe facts or figures presented in one or more graph. Blah, blah, blah. You are going to write description of this picture. If you work or if you study a lot about this, probably you will be good with this. But if you are not, so you need to learn how to describe this. And then task 2, you are going to write an academic or semi-formal natural style. Okay, this is the question. For example, who are brought up in a families that do not have large amounts of money are better prepared to deal with the problems of adult life than children brought up by wealthy parents. To what extent do you agree or disagree? So, argumentative. Yeah. Give example and support your ideas and at least 250 words. Okay. What about speaking? So they are not integrated. For speaking, okay, you are going to be assessed and test is recorded or you are going to be interviewed. Okay, part 1. The examiner will ask you general questions about yourself, like your family, home, work, studies, things about yourself. And then the second part, you will be given a card, and then you have to talk about a particular topic in 1 minute to prepare, and then you have to speak for 2 minutes. And then they are going to probably ask 1 or 2 questions on some topics. And then the last part, you will be asked further questions about the topic in part 2. Okay, here you are going to have a discussion, so you can discuss more abstract ideas and issues. Okay, this is the sample of the task. Okay, this is the question for the interviewer, like what kind of place is it? What is the most interesting part of your town or village? It's quite easy. You can do that. It will be easy for you. Okay, and then this one is for this is the example. Describe something you own which is very important to you. Sounds easy. Where you got it from, how long you have had it, what you use it for. Okay. And then there will be other questions like, is it valuable in terms of money? Would it be easy to replace? There will be questions following up your answers. And then this one is the discussion for part 3. This is the sample. Let's consider first of all how people's value have changed. What kind of things give status to people in your country? So it's like in the broader way of your first topic. Have things changed since your parents' time? Okay, so these are the speaking. Now what about the score? Okay. you don't need to worry, as I mentioned before. If you are familiar only in PBT, not familiar in IBT, but you want to take IBT, you don't need to worry. So you know your score in PBT. For example, your score is around 500. Let's say 500. So, and you are not prepared in IBTs, but you can still think that your score is around what means it will be 60 something, 50 until 60. Always be like that. If you are in 550, your score will be in IBT will be 79 or 80. You can go to Harvard. That's what we told me. And what about IELTS? You want to know, I want to get 7. So at least your PBT has to be more than 550 or at least 580. You want to get IELTS. So then still you have to prepare yourself. If you want to get the top score, you have to get more than 650. So you will get 8 or more for IELTS or more than 90 for TOEFL IBT. Why didn't I talk about CBT? They don't exist anymore. Okay. So those are for the score for both of them. Oh yeah, what about TOEIC, Miss? Oh yeah, I didn't read the blue one. Here for TOEIC. If you got 500 for TOEFL, then you will probably get 600 in TOEIC. They're quite similar, but you should try. Probably you can get better in one test and lower in the other test. Okay, so that's all. Okay, so you can ask me questions. You have any question? No?
Thank you very much, Mamira, for the very detailed and fruitful session. Now I know that some of the participants here might have some questions because, as well, the explanation has been very in depth, right? I will choose some of the participants, but before that, a friendly reminder again to all participants: if you wish to ask questions, please just write your name in the chat box and where you're from, and then I will call your name, and then you are allowed to unmute yourself. Anyone who wish to ask questions may just write your name in the chat box right now.
Okay, I hope no one is sleeping because that's very detailed, yeah.
Yeah.
Detail. There are a lot of samples.
Yeah, we have Reinhardt.
Nice name. Nice name.
Okay, thank you so much for the opportunities. I have a question. Out of the 3 tests that you've been explaining, which one of them is kind of more relevant? I mean, for example, like if I want to go to college, I should take TOEFL, or if I want to take a job on foreign country, I should take IELTS or something like that. Thank you.
Okay. From Reinhardt, right? That's a nice name. Okay, thank you for asking. As I mentioned before, so whether IELTS or ETS, they both provide tests for those who wants to study or work in other countries. So, for example, now you are undergraduate and you want to study again in another country for your postgraduate. So, whether you choose the IBT or you choose the IELTS for academic training. But if you want to work, whether you choose TOEIC or the general training for IELTS, they both are similar. Okay. Does it answer your questions?
Yes, thank you, Miss.
You're welcome, Bernard.
Ma'am, probably would like to ask questions. I heard that when I was, well, last time I take English course was actually during my junior high. And they also have an IELTS class, right? And then I thought that, well, according to the explanation that was given to me at that time, I thought that IELTS are more going to be useful if you want to, for example, continue your study abroad in the UK or Australia. Uh, uh, that's what I heard. Is that true, or they can also accept TOEFL as their requirement for English proficiency? Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, you're welcome. So it's like this. That's probably why IELTS is more popular nowadays. Besides they are younger, younger. They are becoming more popular. Also, since I read about it also, so because of some issues, so since April 2014, if I'm not mistaken, April 17, 2014, so UKM start to cancel the students' visa from ETS, whether it is TOEFL and TOEIC. But I also read the updated one. You can still go to UK and others dealing with your visa by the vouching process. You can go to your home office, like the ETS home office, taking the vouching process, and they can have it. So the vouching process here allow the university to make their own assessment using scores from English tests, not self. SELT is the test that used for UK, but by using vouching process that including TOEFL and other tests is accepted. And Australia, they claim that TOEFL can go anywhere, 100% in all places in Australia. But in UK, they have problem with students' visa, except you live in what country in UK, what country in Europe that do not need visa, so that you can apply using TOEFL. The problem is in the student visa, but they have the solution by doing the vouching process. It's a bit complicated. Probably haven't taken that either.
So to simplify it, is it safer to take IELTS if you want to study in those two countries, or?
So you still have to check there is a website of each university, right? So you just don't, before you take the test, it is better for you to choose the university first. I want to go to this university. I want to go to this university. Then you go to the website and see the score, the test. Okay. So if they said that it is written that TOEFL, IBT, or IELTS, it's only IELTS, so then you take IELTS. But if it is only IBT, so then if it's IBT or IELTS, then you take them. But yes, I also heard that TOEFL mostly preferred by US universities, and UK university prefer IELTS. But they also claim that it is accepted in most of countries on big universities around the world. That's what they claim. But still go back to the website of the university. That's the only reliable answer. IBU, does that answer your question?
Very much, ma'am. Yeah, thank you. Probably other participants who still want to ask questions, you may directly ask questions to Ma'am Ira here. We still have the time for several other questions, probably. Okay, we have question from Viola. Viola, you may ask your question.
All right, so
Viola,
pardon me.
Violin? No, it's okay. Yes.
All right, so basically, ma'am, TOEFL, TOEIC, and IELTS are proficiency tests, right? And so many people, I would say, they try to accomplish even get a high score in it. And this atmosphere leads people to do many ways. So I have often seen and read many advertisements or pamphlets that contain TOEFL seminars or training in short time, and I saw the duration of the seminar only lasted in 1 hour, but it does claim that it guarantees participants to get a high TOEFL score. No offense, I am truly not talking about today's seminars because it definitely gives us insights and knowledge about each test. Well, I'm talking about the training and seminar out there that claims that it guarantees participants to get a high score in TOEFL, TOEIC, IELTS. So my questions are: should students participate in training to learn the tips and tricks to take TOEFL so they can increase their TOEFL scores within 1 hour or maybe less than that? Why or why not? Thank you for any thoughts you share.
Thank you. Viola, nice name. Guys, why do you have nice name? When were you born? Okay. Should I change my name? Okay, now, so Viola, here like this. If your question is, should we students join any short training or others? There is no wrong in joining trainings. Any kind of training is fine. Okay, I believe any kinds of training is helpful. But with the claim that with short training, only 1 hour, even one day, even 1 week, even 1 month, does it guarantee? No. Why not? So it depends on your start. So for example, your start is 400 and then your target is 600. You said that they claim that you can get higher score. What is the higher score here? What is the target score? Probably they think 400 is already high for them. So if your start is 400, to get 400 in 1 hour, you can do it, of course. Okay. So, but if your start is 400, what you mean is high here is 600, one day, impossible. Except you are super genius, you probably, yes, but you can contact me and teach me how to do that. But then, so even 3 months probably is not enough for 400 to 600. Okay, there is not something what we call instant. Okay, I believe every one of you who already speak very well here, okay, you don't suddenly born with that ability of speaking, right? You do a lot of effort to do that, like probably listening for something or doing other things. So I believe also with learning, it's not going, there is no instant thing. Tips, yes. Strategy, yes. But without practicing, they are not going to change dramatically. If they say that in 1 hour, in 2 hours or 3 hours, that they can like dramatically change your score from 500 become 600, I will probably join them. Except you are already in 500, then without the tips, without the strategy, but then from the tip to strategy, then you can get 550. Yes, probably in 1 hour you can do that. But if your start is very low, to get suddenly higher, so it takes more time and more practice. Like when you have a diet, like you are 100 kilograms and then suddenly you have to be 60 kilograms. In 1 hour, can you do that? No, it needs practice and other efforts. Yes. I answer your questions?
Yes, ma'am. So basically, how to get the high score is about learning English, right?
Practicing. There are two ways actually. I always tell my student like this. You want to get it as short term, so you can learn in short term or long term. So short term is like this. I want to get 600. My score is now 500. Can I do it in 3 months or 2 months or 1 month? Yes, can be. But what you need to do is only dealing with the strategy, dealing with the questions. So like the tips how to do that. So doing the practicing only is the questions. But will it improve your English competence in other, like your speaking or your other? Probably not much. But in the long term, you study, like for example, in one session like we have a TOEFL preparation, one session is one level is 3 months. So if you take four levels, so it's going to have like a year. But you are going to have to learn like the vocabulary, the listening. So you have to learn a lot of things from that. So that will be long term. So all of the competence, the English competence, is going to be achieved. There's not something we call instant, except noodle and canned food. Yes. Okay. Oh, Viola is gone. Yes. Okay. Others, Abi or Abi?
Abi, yeah, both are actually. Okay, next we have another question from Arvin. Arvin, you may unmute yourself and ask the questions directly.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, Ma'am Ira. Thank you for the knowledges. So delightful to have you here. I would like to ask, what are the do's and don'ts on the IELTS speaking test? Thank you.
Sorry, can you please repeat the question?
Okay. What are the do's and don'ts on the IELTS speaking test?
IELTS speaking test.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. You're welcome. So you want to take the speaking, the IELTS test. Okay, so for IELTS, there are two parts speaking, right? Two parts, three parts. The interview one, so you have to, they score your fluency. So of course you have to be fluent, okay? And then the second part is you are going to talk about, so the topic is not going to be complicated, not going to be complicated. It's about your like things in your life, okay? But what you need to do here is how you express your ideas. So fluency, and then how you organize your thought, how you express ideas. Okay, that will be important. They will score grammar, but not much probably in speaking, but yes. In if what I heard in compared to TOEFL and IELTS, what I heard, they score, if you are good in organization but lack probably in structure, in grammar, they still get you better score in TOEFL but not in IELTS. They probably see better grammar in IELTS. That's what I heard. Okay, so probably also, but they are not asked a lot in the questions. Oh no, that's one. It's not you. Okay, so the do is that try to speak fluently, and then with a good vocabulary, no pauses, minimum pauses, and express idea in a good organization. That one. Yes. Does it answer your questions?
Yes. Thank you, Mamira.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Is there any other participants?
Okay, can I add? Okay, so
Yeah.
most students, they worry about, because IELTS, they think that IELTS is British, so do I have to speak in a British accent? No. And listening also, will they have a lot of British accents? So in one listening, probably like in a conversation or in dialogue, yeah, there are more British accent, but not that specific, unfamiliar British accent, but the standard or like London British accent, but not that strong. And combined with other accent. So don't worry, there will be other accent also. They also get the North American accent also, and they are not going to expect you to use those accents. Now we have word Englishes, right? So just use with standard accent. Understand, it is understood, well understood, so it's fine.
Yeah, that's actually very true. Probably some of the problems for us, even taste taker in here in Indonesia, one of the biggest problem, especially during listening, is, well, most of the time, well, in my personal experience, at the very least, that the speaker are like sometimes very terrible, and then the the voice of the conversation was not clear at all. But then again, we sometimes have to guess what they're saying because of the speaker, and it's basically it's the problem of the speaker machine device, but not the speaking style or the speaking how do you say dialect of the recording actually. I think is there any other questions before we continue?
So can I talk about your what you said previously while waiting for the next questions?
Yeah, of course.
If you talk about PBT, because most of you have taken only PBT, right? And then you
Yeah.
said that we cannot really concentrate while listening. So you need, that's why I said there is no something instant here. So you need to practice. You need to practice focusing. Probably like trying to listen to a script, listen to a listening text, while also having a loud voice outside, or also listening carefully while having a lot of people in front of you. It's also so you're training, how you train yourself in practicing. If you train in a quiet situation with a good voice, and then when you have a test, it's probably going to be burdening for you to have a better concentration, because it's not going to be the same with what you practice. So practice in a worse situation so that you can get a good or a better result with whatever situation.
Yeah,
That's
that's
my tips.
very good tips, Miss. Thank you very much.
You're
Let's
welcome.
have next questions from Janet. Janet, you may unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you, Abiyu, for the opportunity, and thank you, Ila, for the video explanations about differences between TOEFL, IELTS, and TOEIC. I'm in here. I'm just curious about. There's a lot of institutions that provide the TOEFL or TOEIC or IELTS test, and I'm just curious. Are all of them are
Official.
yeah, our officials intuitions are all of them are certificates can be accepted. Thank
That's
you.
actually also very interesting.
You're welcome. Janet. Janet? Yeah, okay, the name is Janet. See, you have a nice name, guys. Okay. Is the participant selected only based on names? No? Okay. So here like this. Okay, I'm going to answer this. Most of people think, what was the question again? I suddenly think about names
The-
only.
Are all the tests?
Okay,
Yeah,
the test.
accepted.
Okay. So as I mentioned before, so IBT started since 2004. Before that, they have PBT. Okay. Then what you have now in Indonesia, we still have the PBT version, right? I said PBT version, not PBT one. PBT version. We call it ITP, okay, because it is institutional. Okay. So only in certain or particular institution are allowed to use that, and they are actually the recycle, or we keep recycling those tests over and over again until 2004. So they probably make ETS probably make like once in a month. So in 1 year they probably make 10 tests. So they have like more than since 19 something. So more than 100 probably. So more than 60, more than 80 to recycle them. So if you got this series, so that's your series. So if it is ITP, yes, it is official, but mostly, so it is not delivered by ETS, but ETS like market ITP directly to school or university. So only university or each particular institution can deliver the test. Okay. It is official, yes, but mostly they have like Brawijaya have that, like UNER have that also, some university, also have that, some lembaga bahasa they call that. Okay, they call it ITP, but it is not new. The test is from the newest is until 2004. It is not new, so they are recycle and recycle. But is it official? Yes. Can I use that for other purpose? Depend on the place that you are going to apply to. You can always check the website. Is it are they going to accept score from the TOEFL ITP? If it is yes, so you can take them. But if it is not, so probably you have it. So until 2016, if I'm not mistaken, only Medan at that time have the PBT version. The PBT, not the ITP one. So we don't have the PBT one, now it's ITP. But TOEFL has revised TOEFL paper delivered test. So it's like for those countries who do not have the internet access, like in Ethiopia or others, Kazakhstan also, they have the IBT version, but in the IBT in the paper version. Now, your question is, what about the tests that I have in small institution? Are they official? Of course not. Okay, only those in Indonesia, only ITP. We don't have PBT anymore. We only have ITP, so only institutional approved that can approve place that can deliver the test, and you can always check in the website the places like we have that, UM also have that. But probably also I'm going to add here. It's not that I'm selling my Lia's product, but since the ITP TOEFL is only a recycle from the old test, some companies, a big one like for example Polri, those kind like Deplu, only Deplu, other and others, those big company, they use EPT. Do you know EPT? It's Leah's TOEFL-like. So Leah also have TOEFL-like similar to them because we always make it like annually, so it's always new. So they ask Leah to deliver the test, to administer the test. That's why. So is it official? Probably the question is like, it is official, yes, but the test is not that new. But if you only have it for studying again, and it is allowed to have it, so you can take it. But see, it has to be ITP, take ITP. But just TOEFL score without, it doesn't have to be ITP, it doesn't have to be like national or national approved, so you can take from other or small English courses, probably, only for score. Probably it has different score. From your ITP 500, so then you got from the smaller courses, you got 550. Quite different. The score is quite different. It's usually higher. So you have to reduce if you take it from this unofficial test place. Yes, test center. Okay, Janet, does it answer your question?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Okay. Is there any other questions regarding English tests? Probably one last question. Going once.
Thank you, Viola. You stay healthy too.
Okay. Okay. Probably if there is no more questions, then we would like to proceed to the next agenda. But before that, I would like to thank you everyone for the active participation. I think that the discussion has been very insightful. We rarely have seminars like this talking about this kind of topic, especially English tests in particular. Thanks to Ma'am Ira, now we are having more knowledge about this three type of tests. However, we now would like to proceed to the next agenda. But before that, I would like to invite our local director, Ms. Aprilia Hapsari, to present an appreciation certificate for Ms. Irawati Dia. For the time for Ms. Aprilia Hapsari, you may have the floor. Is Ms. Aprilia Hapsari here? Okay, probably I would like to invite to represent Ms. Aprilia Hapsari, Mr. Reinhardt, to give the appreciation certificate.
Okay, Abiu, thank you for the opportunities. And also I want to say thank you for Miss Ira for giving us an insight to the TOEFL, TOEIC, and Ielts. So for our gesture of appreciations, we are giving you the certificate. I wish you good luck and may good health envelop you. Once again, thank you, Leah and Miss Ira. Thank you so much.
It's a nice color. Love it.
Glad you like it. Thank you.
Lastly, I would like to thank you also for the committee for inviting me today as the moderator. I think with that, I would like to return the floor back to the MC, and I'm signing out as your moderator for today. Thank you, everyone. See you on the upcoming events.
Thank you, Abiu. Once again, thank you so much to Miss Siti and Mrs. Irawati for giving us such a beneficial material. I hope the knowledge will be useful for us. The next agenda is an agenda that we have been waiting for, which is the winner announcement of legal opinion competition. Okay, without further ado, let's move on to the winner announcement. For the third place winner of legal opinion competition, I will give the opportunity to Disrina Olivia to announce the winner. For Kak Denis, the time is yours.
Okay, for the third place, I will announce the winner in the third place of legal opinion competition of ALSA English Contest 2020 is, drum roll please, ding, 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 ding. Congratulations to Widya Oliveira as the third winner of Legal Opinion Competition of ALSA English Contest 2020. Congratulations to Widya.
I'll give applause.
Thank you for the applause. Maybe all the participants can have a reaction like this, like me. Give the applause.
Okay, congratulations to Widya Oliveira. Okay, next, for the second place winner of Legal Opinion Competition, I will give the opportunity to our project officer of the event today, Muhammad Reinhard Palmaneza, to announce the winner. For Reinhard, the time is yours.
Okay, I will announce the winner on second place on legal opinion competition on English contest 2020. So for the second place is congratulations to Putu George Matthew. Congratulations for winning second place in our competitions. I hope this event brought something useful for you, and I wish you good luck for your next competitions.
Congratulations, Putu George Matthew. Okay, next, for the first place winner of Legal Opinion Competition, I will give the opportunity to the director of ALSA LCUB, Kak Aprilia Hapsari, to announce the winner. For Kak April, the time is yours.
Yeah, thank you. So, actually, we already see the uh, trailer before. Okay, so for the first winner for legal opinion competition is Komang Ayu Nuriasi. So for the winner, congratulations. We hope that it could be useful. The opinion itself could be useful for others. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I didn't expect that actually. Thank you.
Okay, congratulations to Komang Ayu Nriasi. Once again, congratulations to all the winners of the legal opinion competition. Also later, the winner will be contacted by Commit for the prize distribution. So now, here we are at the end of this event. Before we move on to the photo session, we want to hear some closing remarks from our project officer of the event today, Muhammad Reinhard Palmaneza. For Reinhard, the time is yours.
Thank you, Sela, for the time and the place. I want to say thank you to all our participants for your patience. And as a project officer, it's been an honor and pleasure to be among such accomplished individuals. I've enjoyed enormously, and I hope you all have too. And once again, thank you so much. Stay safe, stay inspired, stay healthy, and keep on the creativity. Together we'll be connected as one. May ALSA always be one. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Karen Hart. Next, we are going to hear some closing remarks from the Director of ALSA LCUB, Kak Aprilia Hapsari. For Kak April, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Sela. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for all of your participation so far. We really appreciate that. And thank you so much for all of the committee that have involved from the this event until now. Thank you guys so much for work. And we hope we could see you all again next year in ALSA English Contest 2021. We all we will be always creating another winner so that it could increase the competitiveness of the high school students in Malang and East Java, and also varsity students in Malang and East Java. It's also. I think that's all. Thank you all so much for all of your participation. See you next year. Thank you. Together we'll be connected as one. ALSA, always be.
Thank you, Kafril. Unfortunately, we have finally arrived at the end of the agenda in this ALSA English Contest webinar. But after this, please don't leave the meeting first because we have a photo session. Thank you so much for everyone who already participate in these events from the beginning until the end. Have a nice day, everyone. Stay safe and stay healthy. Together we be connected as one. ALSA always be one.
Hello for everyone who